Well, hello there, Uber-Tuber-Ubers. Great and small, left and right, forward and back. Anyway, you can slice them. Come on in, sit down, have a cigarette if you like. I had some here earlier, but I don't know what I did with them. It's a short talk in the trailer with the old guy, and we happen to know who that would be. That's me. My name is Mike. Welcome. Sit down. I just wanted to do a quick video today. I'm on my way into church in a little while. It's about 10 after 8, something like that. Beautiful Sunday morning out there. Looks like we got maybe skies, blue skies, sunshine. The other day this thing came blowing in over here the other day. Ugh. It was gross to look at it. It was this big wind was carrying this dust cloud in, and the whole city was just slowly being covered by dust. I was higher up. The further you get toward the mountain, the higher you get. And so I was up on Telshore, which is a kind of an elevation gain. And I was just sitting there watching that. And it just, oh gosh, that's ugly. So I'm glad that stuff went away. I had a little episode yesterday, and I'll talk about that briefly. But boy, was that dumb. Ugh, even by my standards. And it's all my fault. So anyway, that's not why we're here today. We're here to wish a certain somebody happy birthday. There's one of my viewers out there, and you know, let's face it, I only got 31 subscribers, so I gotta take care of you guys. Cindy, it says Cindy TG, and I don't know what the TG means, but anyway, it's her birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Cindy. It's the 14th of January. Golly, can you believe it? Almost half of a month is already gone in this new year. And, you know, we're looking around at a lot of stuff, a lot of crazy stuff going on politically, but really what matters is the people around you, the people that you're actually in contact with. You know, there's people on the world stage and international news and, you know, all that stuff. And it's just a bunch of sound, what do you call them? Sound bites, talking points. And everybody's reciting their talking points. So DJT is the worst thing since Adolf Hitler, except if you look at it the other way, Biden is the worst thing since Hitler. So everything's become all Hitlerized. And that cannot be a good sign. It means that the middle is disappearing. All we got left is the two ends. There's nothing left in the middle. And so the way I think of it is that this, if it's a civil war we're talking about, it's a different kind than last go around, because this time it ain't the North versus the South. It ain't the slave owners versus those who are in favor of emancipation or whatever the ostensible causes of that war were. And I think a lot of it had to do with, I sympathize somewhat with the Confederacy, that it was an overreach by federal bureaucracy impinging upon states' rights. Now, that wasn't the whole story, but it was a part of the story that the historians would rather you don't recall. We got the same thing kind of going on right now. Oh, and by the way, speaking of states' rights, I was watching a video this morning. You won't believe this, but in order for rich millionaire people to move out of California, now there's a exit tax. Exit tax. I remember one time I went to Guatemala years and years ago. It was in the 80s. I went down there to visit a missionary family. And in order to get into the country, I can't remember how many quetzales, that was the name of their currency. I think it was like 5 quetzales, but it only worked out to like, you know, $1.85 or something like that. But in order to get out of the country, same airport, 2 weeks later, it was like 30 quetzales just to get the heck out. Kind of makes you think now, don't it? These guys know where their bread is buttered. But birthdays and anniversaries and things like that are important, especially, you know, when you remember somebody, and they thought maybe nobody remembered. So it's so nice. Last year for my birthday, several people gave me a card, or, you know, wished good wishes, you know, whatever that amounts to. Boy, my nose is going berserk. Oh, I just wanted to give you a little idea here. There's a guy named Dr. Mandel. I like Dr. Mandel. He's an interesting dude. And it was just a little 3-minute video. I watched him yesterday, and he was talking about peroxide, hydrogen peroxide. You know, it's just the 3% stuff you get at the Walgreens around the corner. But basically, take an eyedropper and lay on your side, put a couple of drops right in your ear, and let it go down there. It sounds like you got a bowl of Rice Krispies inside your head. You know, you hear that snap, crackle, pop stuff, and it's kind of bubbling and goosing around. You lay there on your side for about 5 minutes, and then flip over, get all that guck out, and then do the other ear. So I did one go around yesterday and one go around today, and I I'm not sure, and I don't want to speak too soon, but, I've had constant ringing in my ears for at least 10 years. And I attributed that really to years and years of being an idiot, of, working around jackhammers and really loud power tools without ear protection. That's what I assumed it was, but I can already tell that the ear ringing is at least running in a different tone, maybe, and it might be somewhat less in terms of intensity. It's not, I've heard of some people, they can't even sleep, with that stuff, and so it's nothing like that in my case. But at any rate, I went out to the shooting range yesterday. I had my handgun inside the cab. Why was I doing that? Why wasn't I stepped out of the vehicle to shoot? Well, I was lazy and it was cold. Somehow or another, I had the thing cocked here. It's a double action revolver. And I was switching it from one hand to another or something. I can't even account for it. It all happened like boom, boom, so fast. This is the way people talk about accidents. I don't know, it all happened so fast. And ended up shooting a hole through my front windshield. So that means I'm going to walk to church today because that's a cop magnet. And so I was able to get a hold of one individual this morning just before we made this vid. And he says, well, I might have one of those on hand. So he said, well, let me go to church and I'll call you back when I'm done. Will that work? I said, well, yeah, I'm going to go to church too. So for the first time in a long time, I'm going to take my phone with me to church. And boy, if this guy could do this job on a Sunday for me, that'd be great. Just to help kind of knock all the kinks and bugs out of the rest of the week. Because it's just like, as soon as I saw that, I thought, I can't believe how stupid I am. Or what is it? Stupid plus clumsy? Stupid plus clumsy plus what? Careless? I mean, I don't know. I've never even thought about this. Shooting a hole. Now, the hole's about, I want to say 3/8 of an inch, because the weapon was only 10 inches away from the glass. And I was just so glad that I didn't shoot it through the roof. Why I had that thing cocked, why was it cocked, I have no idea. But, so don't go off half-cocked. I tell you, some of the things I do are so stupid and destructive and pointless. And later on, I wonder, what was I thinking? It's like, what makes you think you were thinking? But I'm thinking about you if you're having a birthday today. And here's a weird little trivia fact, and probably nobody in their right mind cares. But if you were to gather together a group full of people, we'll call them 30 random people. What's a random person? I don't know. You tell me. But the point is that if you get together 30 people, supposedly, there's like a 50-50 odds that at least 2 of those people will have a same birthday, same birth date, date of the month, not necessarily year. And by the time, I can't remember what the number was, I used to know this when I was young, by the time you hit 50 or 60 people, it's almost a statistical certainty that there will be 2 people in that room, perhaps more than 2 pairs, that have the same birth date. And so, if you have a birthday, I'm going to wish you a happy birthday today, because you know what? Things are getting weird, and what matters is people. What matters is people and not ideas so much. The ideas are what kind of, help us lose our minds a little bit. So you got to root down on solid truth. That means the kind that God authors, and there's the word for you. There's the 66. So get on down to church, shake a leg, get the lead out, and all those other motivational type things, and go listen to a gospel presentation. And by golly, I hope I hear one today, because I could use it. Good news, because sometimes it's in short supply. And that's why we've got to be faithful, because we're the ones who are carrying the news. The King has come. His domain has begun, and he's expanding it. His light is driving back the dark, and it doesn't matter what the dark has to say. From our perspective, it looks, down here on earth, it looks like it's just the reverse. It looks like the good is being run off the field, and it's being dominated completely by wickedness and lies. Well, that's appearances for you, but the reality is he declared the end from the beginning, and he has the victory, and he's asking us, you and me, to join in with him, because he's the only way out. If you can kind of imagine the Titanic going down, or something like that, a bad, big tragedy. In this case, there's only one escape route, and that's the Savior. That's the Savior who was at the cross, terribly, terribly mistreated, brutalized, murdered. And that's what we humans did when God came to visit. So we got nothing on our resume except we ask for mercy, we ask for forgiveness, and we ask, help me quit shooting holes in my windows. So I'm going to pick them up, put them down, get to church. It's going to be a good 20-minute walk, but it'll be good for me, you know what I mean? Think exercise. Have a good day, and happy birthday, Cindy, and happy birthday to all you others who are watching, if this happens to be your birthday too, because, you know, with 31, theoretically, we could have a match. It could happen. You have a good day. Bye-bye.